Everybody, welcome to Lisa's Art Room. Tonight we're going to be working on my, I can't talk tonight. Tonight we're going to be working on my rescued trash junk journal, and we're going to be doing a couple little things on that, and I will go over the things that I did while I was gone. So let's see, check my sound. Hopefully somebody will sign on and say something. Thank you, Dawn. She's right on time. Let's see if I can find you guys so I can see all the chat. Okay, so let me go ahead and get this camera pulled up top and we'll get started. One second. All right, let's see. Get that centered. Oh, what's showing? Something's showing. Oh, there, I got it. Still seems shady. Not sure why. All right. Can't tell why it looks kind of shady, but I think it's just my view of that iPad. All right, so we are getting there, guys. Look how full that is. It's so full. I knew it was going to be bulky because everything we're using on this is like packaging and things like that, and they're just bulky things. So if you do ever do a junk journal, do make sure that you make your spine large enough because it will get bulky on you. There's just no real way around that. Hey, Lori. So let's talk about what I did off camera. So I put these two orange bags on here for pockets on the side, and they're just sewn to a piece of paper bag. And I left this part for a pocket here, and then it's sewn on two pieces of paper bag, like it's two pieces, so that there can be a pocket on the side as well. So there's a pocket here, a pocket here, and then there's a pocket here on each one of those. And that's just, like I said, lots of pockets in this one. Let's see, so we need to finish up this. I did just throw this on here. It was just a deer picture that I had. It's huge, and I just had to figure out a place I could stick it, and I think it looks good on that page. So that's just an embellishment. I added for this thing we did last time. So this is our bookmark holder. So what I did is I made a a word search. So I have a whole bunch of puzzles that I've saved from different magazines, and this one happened to be a word search, and it has the words on one side that you're supposed to look for, and then it has the word search on this side. I put it on one of those Capital One cards that I had. I don't have one to show you. I don't know, do I? No, I do. One of these that I sanded down. And then this material here on each side is just the inside of an envelope, like we did for, where did we use it? We used it somewhere. I think it was a different page. I don't know where I used it. I used it somewhere. Hang on, grab an envelope. 5 billion envelopes here somewhere. I think you understand, but I'm just going to show you just in case anyone's new and hasn't been watching. So on the inside of envelopes, there's almost always some sort of a security print, and sometimes it's pretty, sometimes it's just the logo of the company. But so I went through and found some papers that I liked, like this type, and I cut those out and put them on the card. So that's just what I used for my paper, because we're not using scrapbook paper, so that was my papers, and they're just black and white. And then I sewed a piece of packaging, which is why I didn't do it on camera, because the sewing is just too much of a pain. But I keep all of my packaging. So I just took a piece of that. And I picked a piece that kind of sort of fit, like this size. And then I just put it around it. And I sewed all the way around. And what that did is it makes it reusable, in a nutshell. And this tag is the envelope material, and I just folded it a couple of times and made it thicker. So there's like several layers there for a little tab. But it's not that hard to do. It was pretty easy. I mean, aside from the sewing. Could you do it without sewing? Maybe if you left more material room around whatever your puzzle was, and put double stick tape down. The problem was this barely fit on my card that I had, so I didn't really have room for that. So that's why I chose to sew. Plus it just holds better. Kind of looks awful because my sewing machine's not great, but so that just goes in there. It's just a fun little word search. I'll show you how it wipes off. So it's going to fit in there. And then basically I just made it so that you could reuse it. So the way you reuse it is, say you wanted to use a Sharpie and you find your word. Do you think I can find any words? Here, success. There we go. So you find your word and go through the puzzle, do your puzzle. You can use it. You can mark off the words that you found on the back. And then if you're using a Sharpie, you just need some alcohol. Even Purell will work. But an alcohol wipe, and then you just wipe it off. Okay? And then it's ready to go again. Just find something to dry it with. Okay, so ready to use again. I call them vis-a-vis markers, but it's basically a wipe-off board marker. I'm trying to see if I have one here. I had pulled one, I thought. I'm not seeing it. It's really fat. Where is it? Did you not pull it? I thought I pulled it. Hold on. I'm not seeing it. If I have a vis-a-vis here. But it works kind of the same way, except you don't need alcohol. All right, hold on. Let me see if I can find it. I just stuck it back in the holder. Tuck it back in my wipe-off board because it was a little thicker than I wanted, but it'll work. So if you have like a dry erase type marker, you can use that. And you can just, well, I wouldn't go through. I'd go around. Get a thinner one. This is too thick. And then you can just use paper towel and just wipe it off. Okay? So that's how that works. So it's reusable. I thought that would be fun to do. So that's what I'm putting on the inside. And then we just need to decorate the outside. And I had those flowers that I've apparently lost. They were here a second ago. Did they fall out? They're probably in the page. Hold on. There they are. So I have these flowers. I'm going to decorate it with this. And then I was going to glue it down to this page, but I think I'm going to make it a flip out. So we're going to do that. I'm going to try and save it for last because I did title this Waterfall element. So I want to do that first, just because I want to get to the one I at least said on the title. So is there anything else I did in this one? I don't think so. No. All right, so that one's all I did. And then this one's the one we're going to work on. It's got the waterfall element I want to do, and I'm going to use some of that tissue paper I made. This is just where I glue 4 pieces of tissue paper together using some matte medium, let it dry, and becomes thicker paper. You can use just recycled from your gift packages during the holidays or birthdays or whatever. We're going to put that here. Don't think there's anything else I did in this. Oh, I put this onion package on this page, and it is got a pocket here, and then I left this to where it's a pocket going through. And I think I just stuck those on there, honestly, so it would dry well. So it was giving me a hard time. What else? Anything else in here? No. I glued down the fortune cookie one that I showed you last time. I just glued it so that there's a pocket on the side and a pocket here. We'll make a tag or something for that. Thought that looks cute there. I'm going to lose that page. Let me find it. It's blue. Where'd it go? There it is. Okay. I thought it would look good here, so we're going to keep that there. That's what we're going to work on at first. Set it up there. Where's my other one? Oh, here it is. Let's see if there's anything in here. I don't think there is, but we'll double check. Nothing new. Nothing new. Still have to put these little birdies down, and I have to do that. Okay, so nothing new, but a couple things we need to work on at some point. If we get to them today, great. If not, we'll get to them sooner or later. Okay, so let's work on the waterfall element first. So when I do waterfalls, there are different types of waterfall elements. Now, I typically do the type that it pulls, and I'll show you mine from my idea book. So, and we're not doing this type today because I've done so many of them. I figure y'all are getting bored of them, but we'll do more later. So let's see if I can find it. All right, so here's my waterfall element. So this is the type I typically do. I haven't glued it down because it has instructions on the back. But what you do with this is it has this little piece right there that glues to your page. Okay, so it's the only part that's held down. So pretend like that's held down, and then it works like this. Okay, these are the type I typically do for a waterfall element, but I wanted to do just a really basic type of waterfall today. So we're going to do that, and I'll show you how to do that. All right, so all you need is your pictures that you want. I've got 4 pictures here. These happen to be kind of seasonal because the calendar I took them from was a seasonal calendar. So we're going to call this spring, summer, fall, and winter. And it's going to be seasonal and theme. And then I found some tissue paper in this color. And I thought that that color worked well with all of them. Okay. So I tried to pick something that worked well. And then it's going to be glued on this page, but I'm going to decorate this page just a little bit. And then this, I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. This is just a sanded winter scene from a calendar that's the back of our center. So that's where we're going to put it. We'll decorate that in a second. Let's cut out our paper first. So what I want is 4 pieces of paper, cardstock, whatever you're working with. In our case, it's our handmade tissue paper. And I've got enough to make 4, as long as I don't go any bigger than that. So we're just going to cut these in half, basically. Let's see if we can find the center. All right, so approximately there. Got my ruler. Oops, I'm dropping rulers. So we're just going to cut it in half just so I know how much I have to work with, because I don't have any more of this. That's all I have. All right, so we have 4 pieces. And then I want them to, this paper I make has a side that was glued down and a side that was on top. The side that was glued down sometimes picks up the glue that's on my silicone pad. So I usually try to put it on the bottom and use the top part. Boy, my tummy's gurgling today. So I'm just going to make sure I have the tops of all of these. There is kind of a direction. I don't know why there's a direction, but there is kind of a direction. So we'll kind of make the, for whatever reason, when I was gluing it, I got a little bit of a directional thing going. So we'll go this way. I'm just going to use that top edge for it's straight. And what I want is I want a 1/2 inch at the top to fold over, and then I want whatever I want for the border of my card. So you have to decide, you know, how much you want to border it. And I think I'm going to go with like 1/4 of an inch or so. So I'm going to go ahead and just cut this side off. Well, maybe this side first to make it straight. Make sure these are kind of sort of lined up. This is my smallest piece, so let's stick it on the front. All right, so we're going to line that up, and I'm just going to trim off some excess. I'm just going to do them all at once. It should be fine. It's tissue paper and glue. It tends to cut pretty easily. You could possibly save these for something. I don't know what. So I'm going to go that far, and then I want a 1/2 inch down, and then another, maybe do a 1/2 inch border. I have plenty of mathematically. So that would be my fold line for that first 1/2 inch mark. Let me zoom in just a little bit. Okay, so this first 1/2 inch mark will be my fold line, and then that'll be my border line, and then I'll want a 1/2 inch here, here, and here. Hopefully that makes sense. So I want about there, and then this, I'm just going to make a tiny little mark with pencil, I think. Find a pencil. Should erase fine. Put a little pencil mark there for my fold. And then this line looks like it's about here. And then my cut over here should be about here. This is pretty close to being exact. I might go a little bit further. Just a teeny bit. So not quite even. So let's cut this side off first. I'm going to have to turn it because I can't cut that way. Put it on one of my main lines. I'm just using my grid because it's just so much easier. Line it up. I don't know what the measurements are, but it doesn't really matter because it's going to be different depending on whatever image you use. So it's not going to be the same. Just make sure that this looks like it's fitting still. Yeah. And then we're going to do that last one. So it looks like it's 4 inches by about 3.5 for me. Okay. And then I want to fold all of these at the top. Piece of glue there or something. I think it's going to be on the bottom, but I'll try to peel it off. There. All right. So for folding, I don't know how well this scores. I've never tried to score it. it might score. We'll try one real, whoops. We'll try one real gently and see if it does score. So, where's my ruler? I'm just going to make a little 1/2 inch mark on the other side. I think it's about 1/2. I'm going to double check it. It's real close to 1/2. So this line that I have on here is drawn with a Sharpie, and it's just a line that I use that I can just throw it in the middle, line up my 2 marks, and score without having to use the edge and trying to find one that happens to hit in the right spot, because that just doesn't always happen. And I like having just a line that I can just lay it on and go from point to point. Just gonna double check my cut. So let me grab my score thingy. Where's it at? There it is. Let's see if this will score. I think it will. I'm not putting a whole lot of pressure. Just a little bit of a score mark there. And then I'm going to fold it behind. Okay, so you want your pieces like that. Each one with a little point on the bottom. I haven't done one of these in forever. Hopefully I'm remembering how to do it right. I feel like I cut my finger. Okay, that looks good. And then I just got to, I'm going to double check the size, but I don't think it'll be an issue. So each one's going to drop down by 1/2 inch. Just going to, it drops down 1/2 inch, but I'm folding 1/2 inch, so it can kind of go from that point. It makes it that much longer. Just want to see if I can fit all of them on here. And then this one will drop down from here. And then this one will drop down from here. Okay, yeah, I've got plenty of room for all of them. And I'm going to put a little label here, so I'm going to drop it on the bottom there. All right, so that'll fit. Plenty of room. So let's go ahead and score the rest of them. So like I said, I'm doing 1/2 inch. From mine happens to be the longer side, which makes sense because the picture is pretty much square. So a little mark there, a little mark there. I'll just do all the marks first. This is really all the measuring that it needs. I mean, technically you could just eye it. But it does look a little bit neater if it's a little more perfect. Okay, so that's all my marks. And I'm just going to score those. Real gentle. I'm not pushing so hard that it goes through my tissue paper. Because even though it's 4 layers, you know, you could still rip it because this stuff does tear pretty easy. But I checked it for folding okay and holding up to being folded, and it seems good. And I think that's because the matte medium gives it that little bit of elasticity that it needs. Okay. Hopefully that makes sense to y'all. All right, so we're going to fold all these. And I'm just making sure that it's lining up evenly on each side of the paper there. Assuming I get my measuring right, it should, but you know, sometimes you don't fold exactly on your score line. Fold there, one more. There. All right, so now we have our 4 pieces with each one has a little score mark. And I'm just going to go ahead and give those a little bit of a crease. Not too viciously because we don't want to rip it. So I'm just going to get them a little bit better. All right, so there we go. So now we have these. And we're going to erase anything that's showing. Just a little bit of a mark there. I think it's mostly just on the back. Any that might show. I might ink these. I was debating. Ink will work on the tissue paper. Oxides seem to hold or show up a little bit better because they have a little bit of pigment to them. More so than the distress inks. Or you could just use archivals if you have them. But matte medium's made to accept paint. Inks too, to a certain degree. But let's see. I'm going to find a color that I think will work. So first I want to color this somehow. I haven't really thought it through completely. I'm going to get rid of, I think I'm going to get rid of some of this bulk. I'm just going to work off of these two. Move the rest of this over here. Alright, so I can kind of see what I've got here. Can't see that line very well. I'm going to mark it. Hold on one second. Where's my pencil? I'm just going to mark this line just a little bit because that is not sharp. Where's that other one I just had? It's a little bit sharper. I just want to be able to see it. It'll be sewn in the signature, so you won't see it. Well, I still can't see it. Kinda, sorta. I guess it's good enough. I'll probably just use this. But I want to put something under this. So let's see what looks good, because we're going to have that color, and then we're going to have, you know, these colors, which pretty much are they're similar. I think the winter is probably the most different, but even the winter has that peachy color in the sky, and the fall kind of picks it up real well in the tree, and then this has that kind of peachy color in the sky. So they all kind of had that kind of peach looking color. So I'm leaning toward, if I could find a color that would look good on the back. I don't know about a peach color. I have a campfire. What's it called? Crackling campfire. Might look good. Also have saltwater taffy, but I think it's... So crackling campfire is almost orange. I just don't know if I should do blue instead. I think it might be too much blue if I do blue. Plus, I don't know how the blue will look on this brown. So I'm leaning toward crackling campfire. We're going to try that on a scrap piece and just see if it looks awful. Let me find a scrap piece of that paper. Just need a bag piece. There we go. Paper bag piece. Oh, I thought I had one. I know I do. I just gotta find one. There's one. All right, I found one. Here, just use it. So, a little paper bag piece, and let's try. So I have this Tim Holtz stencil. I've got this one that's dots, and then I have this one that's, I don't know, it's like burlap almost. I think I'm gonna try this one. See what it looks like. And in case you want to find the stencil, it is Tim Holtz Stencil 007. Don't know the name of it. Sometimes they don't have names. Sometimes they just have the numbers. let's put that on there, see what it looks like. I think that might look good. Yeah, that's not bad. I just want to put something there. I don't think a blue will look right, so. And then maybe we'll add, you know, some oranges or something to this page when we decorate it. I think I'm okay with that. So let's do the crackling campfire. Like I said, it's got that kind of peachy orange color to it. Since I can't see my line, I'll try to find it. Just want to try and stay on this page. Now, I don't have to do the whole page. I could just do it kind of randomly. And I definitely don't really have to do the middle, although I might do it a little bit. Yeah, that's good. I don't want to go too dark. Oops. Let me zoom just a little too close. There. Do this side some. Try not to get it all over my table. I'm not worried about lining these up. It's just a, you know, a burlappy pattern. Doesn't really matter. A little bit here. Maybe a little more there just in case. I don't think it's going to show there. That should be enough, just so the page has something on it. And then I wonder how this will show on this. Let's try one. This is an ink, so I'm not 100% sure. We'll see if it shows okay. That's not too bad. It's just a tiny bit. I think it will be enough. I didn't want to go with a brown or anything. So you have to put up with me inking a little bit. Try to make it quick. And this stuff's a little bit flimsy, but it's not terrible for inking. Sometimes when the paper's too flimsy, it's hard to hold the ink. Yeah, that'll work. I just want it to kind of, you know, offset it off the back of the page so it stands out nicely. And I don't think this will, yeah, it's not wiping off. Okay. So make sure. The matte medium should soak it up a little bit. And the nice thing about using the matte medium is it's not sticky. So these aren't going to stick to each other. The matte medium dries and it's not sticky. If I had used a glue or a Mod Podge or anything like that, it would be sticky and I would have issues. I find that's why I tend to fall back to the matte medium, is that I find it just doesn't stick like some of the others. Also, like a varnish typically doesn't stick. I just don't know how well varnish would glue tissue paper together. I don't think it gets wet enough, really. I would go with matte medium. You can maybe try the Tim Holtz collage medium, but I did a test at one point and I feel like it was sticking a little bit to itself, like other things with the medium on it. Like not to a normal page, but the issue with sticking tends to come when you have two items with that medium on. That's when you tend to get that happening. And because on a waterfall, these are definitely going to be touching each other. Almost done with the inking, guys. Sorry. I didn't want to cut them out ahead of time, so, because then you didn't, you know, you won't get all the instruction. And most of you probably already know how to do these, but that's all right. Hopefully you enjoy watching anyway. All right, I think I got all those. So like I said, this was Crackling Campfire, Distress ink. now we got to glue our images down to our backdrops. So make sure all of your little folds at the top for sure. And then we're just going to glue them on here. What shall I use? I think I will use art glitter. This is a calendar page, so it's not crazy thin, so I'm not worried about it warping or anything. If I was worried about warping, I would maybe go with Fabri-Tac. See if I can get my thing off. Okay. Is it gonna come out? Yeah. Okay. I would do Fabri-Tac, but it's not. It shouldn't warp because it's, like I said, it's pretty thick. And I'm not going to ink those because honestly I'd have to use archival for sure because it's a calendar page and it's not going to show that much. It's already got a dark border, so there's no reason to ink them. So let's get some art glitter glue on here. I'm not worried about which order I'm doing it in, but I am going to try to get it on the grid. Try. So I'm going to put it on my grid. Hopefully it'll lay flat enough. And try to get on those 4 points that are a 1/2 inch. At least somewhat close. That's not too bad. So they at least are somewhat straight. Alright, so there's one. And get another one. Put it on my little grid. Now, this tissue paper that I've made here, you can write on it. So the back of these can be journaling spots. I tried writing on it with several different inks, and it pretty much will accept all of them. Even pencil, even jelly pen. Jelly pen tends to dry a little slow, so that's the only flaw with that. Just have to make sure it doesn't smear while it's drying. I'm just mostly trying to get as much in the center as I can. I think this image was bigger, possibly wider. And that's probably my doing because the border doesn't look quite even. But that's okay, as long as it's close. Close enough. A little crooked. Oh, I think it's my border. How's that border look? Looks a little crooked too, doesn't it? I must have cut these by hand. Border up without messing it up. Maybe. This one's... I'm worried more about the top being crooked than any of the other edges. A little more off that side. I don't think I have enough to do it with my utility knife. Is that enough? It's a little bit straighter. Like I said, try not to be too perfectionist on it. You know me. Let me find my lines again. Don't move. And I am making sure that the fold's on the top and I have the image upright, or I'll be very sad because I don't have another piece. And this border's a little off on the sides too. Let me get my rag. Too much glue on the edge. It's about time for a new rag. It's starting to get crunchy. hopefully y'all are enjoying this junk journal. It's been interesting. It's a little bit more challenging than a normal journal because you really have to find things and think about what to use a little more, because typically I just have, you know, scrapbook paper that I purchased and I'm using that. Whereas this, you have to find papers. And there's no reason you have to do a junk journal like this. I just wanted the challenge of it. Because why not? You know? And if you were trying to be frugal about it, it's definitely a way to do it very inexpensively. You know, you're just dealing with your glues and mediums or maybe tools or stencils and things like that, but you probably already have those. If you don't, you know, don't purchase a ton of them. So, and we got our images. Should be the same. It must be catching. That's what it was. It's like, why is it not the same? It's catching something. Yeah, they're all the same. So now, I want to make sure that we are the right direction. We are. And I'm just doing this so I can get centered. So I had a label that I found. It's just a quote. Charles Dickens quote. It says, "Nature gives every time and season some beauties of its own." And I thought that worked since this is kind of seasonal. So I'm just going to put that on there. I think I'm just going to cut it out square. I might use my crimping scissors on the edges. That might look good. Let's do it. So I'm going to use my pinking shears just on the edge. Totally doesn't look straight. Oh well. And then we'll do a straight cut on the bottom. Yeah, you can see how crooked I am now. I'll fix it. And straight cut. I think I'll go about here. Where did my ruler go? I'm going to try to line it on a line so I don't have to. I think I want it to be about the same as that. So I think there. Approximately there. Let me fix my cut just a little bit. That's a little bit better. Alright, so that's going to go at the top. So I'm just going to glue that on the top. And then I got to think about where these are going to hit. So we got spring. I'm going to put spring on the top, which I think I decided was this mountain scene. So it'll be this, and then it'll be that, and then fall. I just want to see where it's going to need to go. I mean, logically, it's a ½ inch each time. So that'll go about there. Not go too high. I think I'll start about there. So let me put just a little tiny pencil mark. I'm just going to put it over here. I'll erase it. So that's where I want to start it. And then this can just kind of be centered in between there. I don't know if I want to ink that. I don't think so. But I am going to use Fabri-Tac because it is very thin. Where is my lid? It's a very thin magazine cutout, so. This just doesn't warp as bad as the art glitter. And that's because it's acetate based instead of water based. If you have the Beacon 3-in-1, same thing, or the Fabra Fix. So somewhere between that line and the top. There, looks like center. Okay, and then we've got a little line there. Let me move up just a little bit. I'm trying to stay in camera. So your first image is your top image. Okay, so what you want to do is put glue only on your fold. And we'll go with glitter. I don't want to have to wait forever for the Fabri-Tac to dry, so go with our glitter. Something just fell and I don't know what it was. So glue this. I probably should draw myself a straight line. I will, just because if I don't, I'm going to regret it. And so let's kind of make ourselves a little bit of a straight line. So I'll just measure down. Well, it looks like 2.5. Some sort of a pencil. So 2.5. And see if that's about 2.5. Yep, that's about 2.5. And I'll just draw a little bit of a line there. Just because I don't want it to be crooked. I'm trying to get it somewhat straight. Hopefully that's somewhat straight with my little label. And then I'll erase anything that shows. So we're on spring. Yep. Okay, so glue there. Not so close that you're going to touch this. I definitely don't want glue there. Okay. And I'm going to try to stand up and get it straight. Yeah, I think my label's a little bit crooked, but that's okay. I'm not going to stress about it too much. This is crooked and it's making me crazy. There. I'll try to go over that line so you don't see it. Does that look straight? Looks pretty close. All right, so glue that down. You just want to lift it and make sure that none of that glue oozed out. You definitely don't want any glue there. Okay. So there's our first piece. Now you do want to make sure that you keep your line straight. That's important. So try to do that. Waterfalls are easy, but if they get off on, you know, start getting all wonky, then it doesn't look as good. So try to keep them straight. So we got our summer one. We got glue on this one. Same thing, don't get so close to the edge that it's going to ooze out on you, ideally. So you lift that up. Okay, and then you just want to butt this one up to that one. So just find the bottom of it, line it up, and real quickly lay that down. Make sure it looks like it's straight. It does. Okay, so we're going to put that one there. Just make sure it's not sticking. It's not. All right, so we've got 2. Okay, and then grab your next image. In our case, it's this one, which is fall. Now, if this isn't straight, you might get a little off, so be careful and just be aware of that. Just trying to get the glue just in the middle there. Okay. Same thing, we want to butt up against that. If I've cut everything exact, logically, it should match. It should line up and it should match and all that, but you know, cutting straight isn't always easy. All right, so there's that one. Make sure there's no glue oozing. We're good. Okay, same thing, butt up against the edge. And just close it down, make sure it looks straight. I'm just closing it before I push too much. And just make sure it lifts up. Okay. So that is how you do a simple waterfall. Okay. Let's zoom out just a fraction so you can see the whole page. All right, so let me get my lid back on here. Okay, so then you got your waterfall, and it just lifts up like that. Got all the seasons. You could journal there. You can journal here. I don't know how well it will show through because this is a very light color. So if I was going to journal, I would probably stay where the card is and journal in that area. But like I said, I did test drawing on this paper with all of my different... I'm trying to find my test piece. You know I'm not going to be able to find it because I said so. You know. That's how it works. I sat it here earlier. I can't remember what color it is. I think it's blue. Is it blue? No. Okay. You're just going to be a pain, right? Where did I put you? There it is. I found it. It was blue. All right. So I tested writing on this. Granted, this is a dark paper, so that is with a fine roller ball. That is with a micro, what do they call them? One of these guys. Micron. They're a permanent pen. So that's with that. And it's on there. And then a Sharpie. And then this is a Jelly Roll pen, the Sakura brand, and then that's pencil. Pencil's hard to see on this blue. Honestly, they're all kind of hard to see on this blue. I would imagine that this orange is much easier to see. Find the side that's top. So okay. You can write on it. Shows up very well. Let's see, where's my jelly pens? The jelly pens are nice, but the problem with jelly pens is they dry super slow. So if you are using them, I have these metallic ones. These are Jelly Roll Metallic Sakura brand, which is a good brand of jelly pens. And they do work nice, but that's very wet, and if I was to touch it right now, it would definitely smear. But if you give it like a minute, it will dry and then it won't wipe off. But right now, see, definitely is gonna come off of there. So you gotta be willing to wait for the dry time on the jelly pens. But all the others, there's no wait time. But once they dry, then they're on there, and they don't come off or anything. But so you can write on this stuff just fine. So it makes for a good journaling spot too. All right, guys. So there's that. Let's jump over to a different page. We got a little seasonal themed waterfall. Let's jump back to our little envelope that we were doing. I'm just going to decorate this. And I'm not going to do the back because, and I thought I was, but I thought I was just going to glue it down and just basically use that page, which is fine. I could do that. But I was like, you know what? Why not make it a flip out? If it's a flip out, then we've got all this space that could be used for writing or adding more stuff. So that's what we're going to do. I do want to decorate the bottom of this. I did sand that down a little bit more. It had some writing there. I was able to get most of it off, but not all of it. I'm going to pull this out just because it'll be less bulky. And I want to stencil that with, I think I'm going to do these little circles. And I'm going to do, I think I'll do a pink kind of color. Maybe. Let's see what's on the other side. The deer. Okay. It's mostly a black and white image, but it's got this pink from the rose and then some green. I could do green. I could do green or pink. The reed letters are also green. Maybe I could do green. I don't think it'll be too much. I was going to do pink, but I'm leaning toward green. Just because I think the pink might be too blendy. Let's see. Should I look at it first? Let me grab a scrap envelope. This one I've been chopping up. Let's just do some green on there and see how it looks. So what color green? We've got, what is this? That's patina. That's probably too blue. I've got the rustic wilderness. It might be too dark. Maybe. It's rustic wilderness I have, and I also had a bigger green. Let me find it. I've got peeled archival. I could do peeled paint. That's going to be a lighter color, and it might match that green better. Let's do peeled paint. It's an oxide, but that's okay. It just means it has a little bit of pigment in it. I am going to use a brush. Let me find a brush. We'll go with this bigger one, I think. Well, that's maybe overkill. Let me go with the little one. Go with the little one. All right. So let's try this. I'm just going to test it on that real quick and see how it looks against those flowers. I'm assuming it'll be fine. It'll kind of help bring in the green from that deer as well. Yeah, that's not bad. It's not quite that color green, but I think it's all right. I think the rustic wilderness is going to be probably too dark here. We'll do a little of it just to see. I don't want to use that brush though. I'm just going to use the sponge. I'll just use the dauber. It's a very wet ink. I'm a little worried it's too wet. I'm just going to try to kind of, I'll just do this side. It's definitely a very different color. So that's the rustic wilderness. Let's see what that looks like. Well, I might like the rustic wilderness better. I think this is a little too yellow. All right. Well, that solved that. This is why we test stuff sometimes, because you just never know until you try it. All right, so let me get that, and let me wipe this off with a paper towel. Put this up. going to pull this deer out of the way. Get some of that oxide off of there. And put some of these dots. I got to clean the stencil real quick. I just don't want a mix of the two on there, so let me just wipe it clean real quick. Don't want to spritz anything. It's just water. Okay, stencil's clean. All right, I'm gonna pull this out. Just, I don't know if I'll hit it. I might, so. And if I do hit the plastic, I can just wipe it off. Get on my table already. Get my paper towel. All right. So I'm just gonna randomly do this. Except the flowers are going on that side, so I don't really need it a lot on that side. Do some up here. I just thought it would look a little bit better with something. So we're just going to do these little dots. This stencil is Tim Holtz stencil THS002. I'm going to do the sides too. Let's just do one more there. Maybe one there. Okay, good enough. Got little dots everywhere. And I'll clean this later. You can just run that underwater to wash it, or do what I just did and, you know, do it with a spray bottle or whatever. Just try to get some of this ink off my fingers first. Got 3 different colors ink on me. Okay, so now we're going to glue our flower down. Now this is also very thin, so I'm going to use Fabri-Tac. That'll look pretty. I'm going to have to put it on the flowers because there's no way I'm going to figure out where all that goes. So I'm going to put it on the actual thing, which will be a little bit of a pain picking it up, but we'll manage. You can use glue stick if you want, it just doesn't hold up as well. Fabri-Tac will last pretty much, probably forever. Whereas the glue stick, you know, 5 years down the road, it might be peeling up on you. If you've ever had old photo albums, you know what I mean. Your pictures from those just started peeling up. Alright, try to make sure I got all of this. I can't see it very well, so I think I got it all. Alright. I'm going to do it this way. I can line it up easier. I'm just going to try to get kind of on that edge. A little bit centered. Not too close to the edge because I don't want to go over the edge. There. And then just double check my edges because I almost always miss them. I don't know why. Just because I'm probably just afraid I'll go over the edge, so I try not to get too close sometimes. Usually the glue oozes enough to catch it, but sometimes it doesn't, so I double check. All right, looks good. Here we go. Isn't that pretty? It's actually really pretty with that color. I like that. Let's see what it looks like up close. So, yeah, it looks good with that color. Okay. So there's that. Now the back, like I said, I'm thinking I'm going to leave it a journaling spot. I'm just debating where I want to do my connection. I don't want it on the front because I didn't want to affect the roses. So I'm thinking I'm going to try to connect it on the inside. And then just have it fold from there. There's enough room. I should be able to do that. So I think I'll use that stuff I've been using, which is from that bag. If you don't have something like that, you could just use a scrap of material, like a scrap of a cotton of some sort, muslin, cotton, something like that. I'm sure you can find some sort of scrap. I'm just trying to find that bag material. I still had a piece left. This is very papery, but it's also very flexible. I might even use that area that's where the thread went through. Yeah, I think it'll hold up fine. So I'm just going to use that for my fold. Let me think about where I want this again. So I think I want the bigger piece on the envelope and the smaller piece on the page. So I want this to glue there. Like that. It's pretty much the exact right size. How lucky is that? I couldn't do that again if I planned it. Alright, so I'm going to glue this there. I'm going to use the Fabri-Tac. I'm not going to go too close to those holes, but close enough that it will keep the, the fold down. So this is from the bag that the cover had. The cover is just a seed bag from black oil sunflower seeds that I got at Tractor Supply. And this is the, the top of the bag that you tear off with the string. So I'm going to try to go as close to that edge as I can. So I want it to lay as flat as possible. That should work okay. Alright. And then this is going to glue. I think I'm going to come in just a little bit so that it glues like right there. I'm going to try to pull this out. I don't know what's on the other side of it. A little bit of stuff on the other side. I just want to be able to, I need it to stay flat. Alright, make sure I'm in the right direction. That's the right direction. I think that's the right direction. I had the gold at the bottom, right? Yeah, I had the gold at the bottom, so That should be correct. So glue just on here. Okay, and I'm going to try to get that lined up exact. I'm just going to put it on my grid so I can see the line easily. I'm trying not to go too close because that's going to be sewn in, but I don't want it to stick out too much either. So go down just a little bit. Fabri-Tac gives me a little more room to move as well. Make sure I'm not oozing. All right, now I can put that back. Where was it? Next to the deer. At least I know where it was. So that should go there. Let's make sure. Yep, that's where that was. That's where that was. And that's where that is. Okay. Everything looks like it's in its proper place. So now we have a little fold out. Extra room we didn't have. It's a little bulky, but you know, it's not crazy bulky. So there's our bookmark. And our word search puzzle. Fits in like that. Okay. And then we've got space here and space here. That I may decorate this. I may leave this for writing. I may just put some embellishments on the edges. I don't know yet. I haven't decided. I'll figure that out as I go. But that works fine. So that's a little flip out page. Okay? Cute. All right, what else do we got to do? It's 10:15. I got some time. All right, so we got this lemon tag. I could put that in. So I put this coconut tag in. I just glued it on there. Thought it matched this page very well. I haven't made a tag for it yet. So I do need to make a tag for it. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to put in there. I haven't decided. I don't know if I have anything themed. Probably not. Let's see, flowers, animals, papers, flowers, animals and birds. I had something with fruits and veggies. I doubt there's anything in here, fruits and veggies, that would look good. But I'm going to look anyway. Oh no, tomatoes. No, 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 not really. All right, no, nothing there that would work. What could I put there? I don't think I have any more packaging that would work. Let's see. Tea packaging, lemon drops, More Bones coffee. Nope. Pretty much used up most of my packaging. No packaging left, so I do not know what I'm going to do for a tag. It could just be a writing spot. It doesn't have to be anything themed. It could be a small envelope or window. Let's see, I've got this straw. No, I don't want a window, I don't think. I'm kind of just peeking through all my stuff. Fussy cuts. Lots of fussy cuts. More calendar images. Homemade papers. I don't think I have homemade papers in the right colors. Book images. Just some cracker box that was tea dyed. Possibly. The size isn't terrible, although I was kind of wanting it to come up a little higher. How tall would that one be? Would it be any taller? No, it is a little thicker feeling. Not much, but a little. All right, let me find my other papers. Hold on. Let's see what we got. We got something that's going to go in here. I'm going to find something. I have to keep the color so I can see it. What do we got? Corn. BU. I don't know if I like that. Plants. Some watermelon. Watermelon color is not right. Grand Canyon. Flowers. Trees. If I had like a palm tree. I wonder if I could find a palm tree. I don't have one. I know I don't have one cut out because I don't remember cutting one out. But a palm tree could work very well. I feel like I had a spot I wanted to put that. I have to figure out where it was. Pine trees. I'm just looking. I don't know. I got so much stuff. I have more of that paper. Could possibly do something with that. Cows. This is just like colors. It's a possibility. This is corn. It reminds me of teeth. I think it looks like weird monster teeth. Funny. Oh, I wanted to do that page. Do you think I'll have time? I don't know, maybe. Got some map pages. Some French toast coffee. This is good coffee, by the way. We just bought that and finished one of them. Oh my god, I can still smell it. It was very tasty. Colors aren't quite there. I could possibly do something with that. It's got pretty colors. Maybe just the blue section. A palm tree with coconuts would be awesome, but I don't think I'm going to find one. I know I'm not going to find one already cut out, but I could possibly find one in one of my magazines, but I don't know. All right, I think that's all of my packaging. I'm debating on what I want to attach that to. That's a good thickness. This Tim Holtz is also a good thickness. Might do that. LaCroix. There is a palm. Can't see much of it though. I don't think the boxes have a full palm on them. Alright, I'm not seeing anything that's just yelling, use me for this project. So, possibly just do color-wise for now. So these blues, I got blues and yellows, pinks. There's so many colors here. I could possibly do something with that, or I can make a skinny tag. I don't know if I want it to be the same. I think I like just the random colors better. Maybe just do a tall one with these colors. I think I can get 3 lines. So 3 and then probably 4. So we'll probably put that on the bottom. So let's do that section, I think. Or maybe this section. Is there purple? There's not really any red, but there is some purpley colors. Maybe I'll do these sections. 3 across. Can I fit? Is that an arrow? Oh, that's totally wider. Can only get 2 across that way. 2 or 3. I think I want to do 3. All right, we'll just do this section with the red. That's fine. So we'll cut this out. Stick that there. I'll glue it on something. I'm just trying to figure out where to put stuff. Not that. That's not wide enough. I have to find a bigger piece of cardstock. I think I'll have to use the Tim Holtz one. I wonder how that probably would sand okay. Let's see if I have a cracker box that's already cut. I'd rather use something already cut. I could even use that tissue paper. I might have a color that would work. Where's my tissue paper? You just had it. Oh, is that it? No. There it is. I found it. Do I have a color that works? I have reds, pinks, browns. I think I'm going to use something stiffer. Let's go with that. Cardstock. I'm going to run out of time trying to find a base. Where are my bases? Large card bases. These are all cracker boxes that have been, well, mostly cracker boxes that have been dyed, which is also what that is. So let's see what we can find that would look good and fit. So possibly that. It's the same color. This is a little lighter for journaling on. That's a feasibility. That way the back would be light enough to journal on. I'd cover up most of that, but that's okay. I think this is, well, that's actually a pretty good size. Let me see if it works with the 3. Nope, not wide enough. So we're back to that. Anything else? I think that blue is going to be it. All right, let's do that. So that's got some Tim Holtz Distress inks on it, and it's a cracker box that I either sanded or peeled. Kind of feels peeled. Sometimes I peel them, sometimes I sand them. All right, let's see if we can do this. Too much stuff in my way. I might not get to that. All right, so we're going to just do these colors because why not? So I'm going to cut them out and see if I can fit them. Oh, I didn't put that up. Where did that go? Where's the ink to it? Do you see it? There it is. I found it. Put it up before I lose it. Okay. So, ruler. Pretty sure 3 will fit, but I'm going to cut it real close to the border. I don't want to do the whole thing. I'm going to do it to there. And then, oh, I can't do it that way. I have to turn it the other way. And there. Okay, save this. And cut this border off. Oh, still can't. Ooh. Oh, I'm just going to put it on the line. When it's that thin, I can't see where I'm putting the ruler, so you have to use your line. Does it look right? I think that looks right. I think there. Hopefully it's, oops, go all the way to the bottom. Really? What? What? Why didn't you cut through? I have no idea. It's just trying to rip on me. Not sure why. Again. Right there. That's not too bad. Let's see if it still fits in the pocket. Yeah, plenty of room for my background. Alright, let's try to trim this edge. I think about there and there. And we're going to hope that this blade will cut it. I'll bet it's wearing out on me. I'll try to go through gently. Got it. That looks good. We're going to put this on here. We're not really going to have much of that showing because I don't have that much room. But I think I have a little bit of room. So let's get a clean edge. Is this edge straight? I can't tell. It almost looks straight. We'll make a clean edge. I'm only going to do a little bit showing because the pocket isn't that big. I don't want to go over the pocket size. Let go. I know you cut. And let's just double check. Just a little bit off of this side. Looks like about there. That, and then figure out how wide. Like I said, just a little bit. Think about there. About there. Just make sure I'm on the right line. Okay, that should fit. Let's just make sure that this will go in the pocket. Yep. Okay. So I'm going to glue that to that. Let's use Fabri-Tac. It's a little bit thin. Might could put it on the cardboard. I think I know where to stop. A big piece to have glue all over, I don't trust. I'd rather just have it on here. So I'm just going to get as close as I think I can without going over. So this will be just a little fun colored journaling card. That should be enough. Try to get it on there straight. I really need to be over the top of it, see? From the outside, inside out, I mean. As long as I didn't get too close, it shouldn't ooze too much. Looks like it did pretty good. Just a teeny bit of ooze here and there. All right, good. Let's make sure that our bottom, which is, it's a little bit crooked. Ugh, it's gonna totally drive me crazy. I just want to make sure that this bottom edge, because it goes in first, I do want to make sure it's completely sealed and it looks like it's good. The rest of it isn't as big of a deal. But do I want to trim it or not? I don't know. It doesn't look that bad. The question is, do I want to round the corners? It's not necessary, I guess. Yeah, I think I'll just leave them square this time. So there, just cute little journaling space. I could ink that back so it looks a little bit better. But that's good. All right, so what color shall we ink it with? Let's go with a blue, I think. I could maybe pull in brown. Let's try vintage. Let's try to pull in that coconut color a little bit. There's a little bit of a kind of a peachy color. It's almost that color there. There isn't any brown, but it's close enough that I can get away with putting brown on here. It's just got a little something on the edges now. And I want the red color first because the red doesn't match as well, so we're just putting that on the bottom. I kept it on there because I wanted it tall. So, okay, so there's that page. Pen. Where'd you put pen? Oh, there it is. It's hiding. I can hit the hole. Nope. I missed it and it's got a big old goopy thing on it. All right, try that again. There. Okay, so there's that. What time is it? I got 20 minutes or so. So that works for that. I think that's cool. And we got our lemon tag. So this was one of those Capital One things. I covered it with a napkin. I had some leftover napkin from these. So that is got matte medium on there. Glued it on there. once it dried, I sanded the edges off. Okay, very easy decoupage method. I thought lemon head type candy. And then I had this saying I found. It says, the green thing's growing, the green thing's growing. And I thought, okay, it's not really, lemons aren't green, although at one point they are. I thought it kind of worked just because there's a lot of green there. It says it's from Dinah Murlock Craik. I don't know who that is, but it was in one of my calendar things. This feels like it's not sticking. It is totally not sticking on that paper. Well, that's interesting to know. So this tissue paper, is any of it sewn on? It is not. What did I glue that on with? I don't remember. It was probably Fabri-Tac. But as you can see, Fabri-Tac does not stay attached to this shiny paper. And that's the thing I kept running into with my test, is that anything too shiny, almost all of my glues, would not stay. They would just peel up. You usually didn't see it until later. Like we just discovered. That just peeled right up. So I do tests all the time, and I hadn't really thought, I didn't think that was that shiny, but I guess it is. So like, this is like Fabri-Tac with acetate, and none of these that weren't, the only ones that stuck were the double-edged, double-sided tape, and they stuck. So double-sided tape will hold. So I'll put this back on with double-sided tape. But the Fabri-Tac, the, I don't know what that was, maybe art glitter, all the others I tried just peeled right back up later. They always peel up later. I had a larger test of that somewhere, but I don't know where it is. This is my glue test thing. All right, so with that in mind, we're going to use double-sided tape to put this down because that just did not stay. So any of this paper I have through here, I'm going to have to keep that in mind, that it's too slippery. It's too resistant. And that applies to all of the glues that I typically use. The art glitter, the Fabri-Tac, the PVA, any of them. Now I could possibly sand it and it would stick. But without sanding it, once that glue is completely dry, that's what's going to happen. It's just going to peel off. So we're going to use double stick tape, because the double stick tape I know will not peel off. It'll stay. So that's good. I'm glad I found that out now. Hadn't even thought, honestly, I just didn't think it was that shiny. I knew it was shiny, but I didn't think it was that shiny because it's a type of tissue paper. Let me get as close as I can. It's a torn edge, so I won't be able to get perfectly close, but it's okay. It's not a pocket behind it. It's just on there. So it doesn't really matter. As long as it's stuck down. And I might just put one or two in the middle, just so it holds well. That should be enough. Make sure they're all stuck nicely. All right. Now I can put our pocket back on. Over here where it's straight. Just make sure I've got a straight edge. Okay. All right. Let's see. Try to get it on there straight because I only get one shot at it. Do as good of a job as I can. All right, that looks pretty good. Okay, now, so this is our tag. Snug but fits. The back is just plain, it's just sanded off stuff right now. I don't think I'm gonna put anything on it. Let me throw all these little pieces away. And then this I wanted to stick on there, but I'm also going to have to do double stick tape on that to put it there. So this, I think, I'm just going to leave it plain. I'm not going to do anything to it, but I will put a little hole in it. Just debating which side I want to show through the window, because there is a window. I think I want that side to show through the window. So I'll put the hole here. Let's see if I can find the center. About there. Don't worry about being late, Deborah. No biggie. That's what replays are for. All right, let's see. And let's find a grommet. Let's find an eyelet. I just cannot quit calling them that. I don't know why. Let's go with, I guess I really only have two colors, so we'll just go with this antique gold one. There. And where'd you put your copper ball? There it is. Whoops. Popped right back out. Get in there. Stay. Okay. All right. Eyelet. And I happen to make some of that raffia stuff, which is from the bag handle that I showed last week. I did some in yellow. I have two pieces of yellow. Where's the other yellow? I think it's brighter. Let me find it. There it is. A little bit brighter. We'll use that one. Alright, so that's some of that. I don't know if I want to use it all. I'm just going to use a little piece of it. So it sticks up pretty far. Let's see how far it sticks. I want it to be about here. So once I tie that, that should be about right. And that'll leave me some of that left over. I'm just going to tie it once and glue it. That way the knot's not too thick. Plus it's a little bit fragile. I'm not sure what the material is, honestly. But it works. It's like, I don't know what it's made out of, but it works. All right, we'll just throw a drop of glue on that. Just throw some more glitter. Keep it from unraveling. Just a little bit of glue in there. need double stick tape again for my label. There's that. Let's see where that label's going to hit. Doesn't have to show perfectly, but I think right about there should work. So just a little bit down from the top, not much. So I'll use this. Put some of the thin stuff on the edge there. I can find the edge of it. There it is. There. It's not the easiest thing to do on this type of a label, but unfortunately, it's the only thing that's going to stick, so we're just going to make it work. Oops. Maybe scissors. Let's see a little teeny bit here. If I had known that nothing was going to stick to that, I might not have used it. For a page anyway. It's just not ideal. So keep that in mind if y'all happen to have any of that. It would be so random, but it came in, like I said, it was like a IKEA bookshelf kind of thing. I think it was IKEA. I keep saying that, but I'm pretty sure it was. Alright, let's peel this off. That's going to be fun too. Plenty of sticky. Show in the right direction. And we'll just center it. About there. There. Okay. There's that. And should I do anything with that? I mean, you can write straight on it. It's just a sanded off card, but we might could ink it or something so it looks a little better. Add some green or something. Should I ink it with some green? I don't know. I think what I have that would stick to that. Not a lot. Only thing that's going to stick to that is probably archival. I do have some fern, I think. What's it called? Yeah, fern green. That'll work. At least give it some color. Try and get around my tab there. So color my tab green. That's a big deal. This way it's just not quite so plain. It's totally shedding everywhere. This, my little daubers had it. Falling off my finger. wasn't going to do the front, but honestly, I think it'll look good, so I'll do it anyway. And it's archival, so it'll stick fine. And the fern green's fine. Oh, it's the stem. I was like, what is that black spot? It's the stem. Blow off all my things. Okay. I need to retire that dauber. Alright, there we go. Now I just have a little journaling card for in there. A little bit of a label. We're just going to squish that just a little. There. Okay. So there's that one, and we are out of time. That's pretty much, we got a few things done. I didn't get everything done, but I think I got a decent amount. Ran into an issue I didn't know I had and fixed that, so that's good. Always good when you find those issues early. Back in there. And I will be back on Wednesday. So that was our main page, and then our waterfall. Find my waterfall. Our waterfall page. I am good with that. All right, we got a decent amount done. Okay, guys, let me zoom back out. I think I'm still zoomed in. There, okay. So I'll be back on Wednesday. We'll work some more in this. And until then, y'all have a wonderful rest of your day. Remember, these only stay on Facebook now for 30 days. And I put them on YouTube, so you can go over there to watch them if you want to watch it in the future. Okay, so be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is Elisa's Art Room as well. Okay, y'all take care. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. All right, bye-bye.